Welcome to Landrianka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. All right, this is now October of 2017, and major shifts are happening. I'm feeling that energy, that build up that I shared with you. There was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people feeling ups and downs and energy and all that stuff. I've been getting a lot of intense energy. But it's been pretty good, just very intense. We're now starting to see some effects. All right, so we were building up to a lot. There's been a lot of situations and scenarios that are lining up for us with hurricanes and fires and earthquakes. These are all opportunities. I cannot stress that enough. The traditional way of human thinking is it's the end of the world, it's negative, and the new way of thinking is that everything is an opportunity for major change and that there are no, let's say, bad situations. There are only growth situations. Now, I know people get upset sometimes, rarely, but once in a while I'll get one person that says, oh, how can you say this isn't horrible? They're still caught up in that negative ego thinking that things should not be bad here, that things should not be painful, that we shouldn't be challenged, that we're supposed to come here, and if everything isn't all really nice, and well, I'm sorry, but that's why you came here, is to shift us over to that world that is pleasant all the time, which will still have illness and or death, at least death of the physical body, of everything else that goes on that will challenge us, things will happen, but we will view it differently. We will celebrate at funerals. We will celebrate, oh my gosh, they went over to the beautiful realm, the beautiful unseen realm. Now they're even more powerful. Oh, how fabulous is that? I did that at I had my own funeral for my dad, and we celebrated. We showed slides. You remember the old slides? I was a kid, they had slides and projectors, you know, the movies, and we watched all this stuff and laughed and ate together and just talked about the wonderful things, the memories. And it was a beautiful thing, and yet we miss those opportunities. So I want to talk about that today, is that everything is an opportunity, everything, and do not miss it. So we want to avoid the things that are uncomfortable, and we want to gravitate and fight this and try to go over to what feels good. That is not working. And this is why people fail to go into the manifestation reality, the reality that they desire, because they are separating these two things as if life should be over here. Oh, that's my quiche. See, I'm making quiche, French spinach quiche for my neighbors. They both had kids on both sides of me. We don't want to separate these. This is all part of the experience. All of it. All of it is one thing. It is not good nor bad. Suffering happens when you don't accept a piece of the reality that you've created, that you're creating, that you're selecting, that you selected before you came. It's when you start to reject all that, it becomes painful. When you flow with it, then you start to enjoy the journey of life. All of it is the journey of life. And then you're actually raising your frequency when you go into these more painful situations with a completely different mindset. You're changing, shifting your entire frequency by looking at it and handling it different, instead of saying, why is it this and this and the questions. Quit with the questions to yourself, right? You don't have to know everything. So go into it and say, okay, I don't always know why this is happening, other than I'm putting myself in these situations because I'm asking for certain things, and the universe is actually making things happen for me over here so that I can get over to this place that I desire. It's not like, oh, people will say, okay, I desire this and this is happening. I don't get it. You don't understand then that this stuff over here happening that may not seem to connect to the desirable situation you want or thing, it's exactly what's sending you over there. But then people fight it and they stay there. And the universe is saying, well, wait a second, you wanted $1 million, you wanted a great job, all these things. So I'm going to get rid of all these things that you're in right now. I'm going to make sure your job is gone, that bad relationship's gone. You're not in that neighborhood anymore. You're going to be moved. I'm going to take you in a completely different place because this is what you've been asking for. This is what you desire. Your feelings are telling everything. And you're going, no, what happened? I wanted all this stuff and I'm losing everything instead. Yes, that's why. It's dissolving so that those opportunities for growth and abundance will come in. And we fight that. We don't understand it at the time. We don't see the connecting dots to over here. So when you go into the awakened state of bliss, that's why manifesting happens all the time. Even if you were broke on a park bench like Eckhart Tolle was for a couple of years. That all changed, right? But he didn't care. He was so happy. He felt so happy. It didn't matter if he had the money or not. He went into that ultimate manifesting state. And the key to it is to go into the blissful state. Be grateful. That's they say grateful. And most people are like, how can I be grateful when I'm broke? Now, we're not talking about the things. We're talking about the opportunity to be something incredible, the opportunity to raise that frequency, the opportunity to experience all of this. And we have so many names we put on these things. Spirituality, oh my gosh, spiritual, human, this and that. Just be. You don't have to name anything. But I'm going to tell you right now, this whole reality that you're dealing with is totally orchestrated for you, by you, at all times. You're never not holding the wheel. And of course, you can invite others on the other realm that'll guide you to hold the wheel with you. Maybe steer a little bit because you've asked them, because you're still in charge of your free will and they will not interfere. So your guides, your angels that are with you your entire life say, please, please take the wheel with me. You still have to take the wheel because, you can let go. You can let go of things and allow the universe to start sending you things, but you're still ultimately guiding that by where you want to go, where you want to be, what you want. And if that's just to ultimately be happy, then that's still a directive. So when you look at this whole reality out here, I want you to think of it as always opportunities at every single moment. That means when you are down in the dumps, it is your opportunity to work on changing that thinking and switching it around. Like you know me, I don't say fight it, I fight nothing. Choose a new thought. Choose a new thought. I choose to see this in a beautiful way. I choose to see this as my opportunity to be somebody great, something great. I choose this as my opportunity to raise my frequency for everybody on this planet and for this planet, because that's what I came here for. And in return, I will go into a blissful state. Fact. High frequency puts you in a blissful state. Low frequency keeps you in a painful state, suffering. That's all it is. Frequencies, and we're judging the low frequency here and the low frequency there and the high one's good. And no, it's all part of the experience. It's all opportunities. In fact, a lot of those low frequency people, those are opportunities for us. Opportunities for us to say, okay, I'm not here to fix them. They're here on their journey. I'm going to let them do their journey. But what if that low frequency reaches out and says, I don't want to be down here anymore. I don't want to be in this low frequency anymore. I want to raise it up. Will you help me? And then you hold out your hand and you pull them up with you and you say, here are some tools. And I'll be here for you, but you still have to do the work. Everything is an opportunity. Right now, you have an opportunity to change your life. Right now, you have endless opportunities. And if you are not opening yourself up to them and seeing them and receiving them, then you're missing missing out on all the abundance and the things that await you, and it's just going to be a timing issue. Then I guess you'll experience it down the road, but you can do it now. Don't you want to do it now? I know you do. Of course you do. There are beautiful openings in suffering. There are beautiful openings with governments that are doing things that we disagree with. That's an opening for us to pull together and say, we're not going to look at our color differences, our cultural differences, or anything else. If we're all agreeing to vibrate in a higher frequency of love, of unity, of giving and caring and compassion about each other, that's all we need. That is all we need. And it doesn't matter who does what over here, whatever. They can't do anything without us. That's one person. And all those people below that person and below that person, below that person are all actually on an equal playing ground. In fact, we wield more power without doing anything negative, without revolting, without complaining. Oh, they're doing this. They aren't in charge. You're in charge. About how you feel, about your actions, and about what you're going to do every day, regardless of what's happening out here. If something else is happening out there and people are choosing to vibrate at a lower frequency, you still have the choice to conduct your life in a different way and say, okay, that's happening over here. I'm going to go out and help find solutions for people that want to change their lives, homeless people or veterans or animal rights or whatever. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to help find solutions so that these things aren't happening anymore. And that the people that are in those dark places will have less power because we're just not going to tolerate. We're going to actually receive things in a very positive, loving way, not a, let's punish you and get in fights over stuff. We're going to start eliminating all of that. So I have to go check on my French spinach Parmesan quiche that I'm making for both my neighbors. Have you done a nice thing today for somebody? I've got little biscuits and the quiche. I'm going to take them over to my neighbors who have new babies. Our little light beings are coming into the world to start to change things. It's going to be a lot easier for them because they're starting on a higher frequency and they're just going to get it. There's no, there's this way of thinking. They're already going to be thinking on such a high level. Yes, of course, there are other beings in the planet. Yes, of course, we're unlimited. Yes, of course, quantum physics is everything. We control our reality. They're going to come into this world just knowing things that we're still struggling to try and believe or understand. It's so silly. We limit ourselves so much. So I'm going to go deliver the food, do a beautiful thing today, and if you're not able to physically do something for somebody, then send your light and your love and healing out to this universe. Guard this planet. Send your light around the planet. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Thank you for the blessings you're sending this beautiful friend of mine on the other end of this camera who's going to receive these blessings, these miracles today and seize all the opportunities in every single thing that happens in their life and every moment. And see what happens. See what happens. I'm getting some awesome stories from you guys. Unbelievable stories are coming over. And I'm starting to share some of them. I'm getting permission to share some of them. And if you have a great story, please post it on my comments. Thank you. Sending you light and love. Abundance and prosperity. Health, wealth, and joy. Namaste.